G'day everybody and welcome to episode 9 of Caught in the Gully. I'm Dane Howe, this is Scott McKenzie and that is Scott Lozzo. The man behind the screen doing all the fancy stuff is our fourth leg, Kyle Pover. As always, we are brought to you by the Eastwood Golf Club down there on Liverpool Road in Kilsyth. Fantastic track. Make sure you get onto their website. They are still offering the free golf for women till the end of February. The membership for women within 20k radius is for free. The Australia Day weekend coming up, massive weekend of golf for Eastwood Golf Club, and just go onto their website, check it out for all the details. It is in good nick. We had another 3 blokes from Upway go down there during the week to have a crack at the course, and they've reported nothing but good things about the deck. So get down there. PJD Building, Peter Dalton, our little mate, doing all things great in the home improvement industry. www.pjdbuilding.com.au or info@pjdbuilding.com.au. His phone number is 0438 100 299. Does some fantastic things, does the little champ. He's all about building from start to finish. He's got all the trades. Also doing renovations, extensions, and anything that you want in building. Peter Dalton is your man. Upali's Restaurant, David Cruz, what a guy. He's been instrumental for this competition and also our cricket show. He's got the restaurant down there on Blackburn Road in Glen Waverley. Also attached to it is the 12th Man Bar with all the pub favourites. I'll be heading myself down there next weekend for a little bit of a feed. So Cruzy, look out! I'm going to bring a few of the boys down from the Tigers, and we're going to sample some of Sri Lankan's finest, and also race with mates. Going to get to his segment really shortly, but he's had a massive day. He's had a massive day on the weekend, boys. As Joshy, we'll get to that in his segment. Red Onion Creative, get on to all the stuff that is Red Onion. We see the highlights of the games, the packages that Kyle Pover's putting together. Just want to just have a quick chat about Kyle Pover, boys. He's supposed to be our fourth leg, our mate, but he gave us a bit of a clip in last week's show. Admittedly, we might have got it wrong, but is it okay for him just to get up and make example of us and like he's giving it the old F in peanuts?
Yeah, I actually, obviously your eyes ping open when you know something. On a minute, please. Fourth leg of our show, and he's actually given us a little clip.
Because if he hasn't stuffed up along the way.
Exactly right. So whether that was a bit of payback from Pleat for the little clips that we've given him, or the one clip in especially.
He's a sniper, there's no doubt about it.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Yes.
So don't turn on your own. Well, he certainly turned on his own, didn't he, boys?
Cheap shots from cheap seats, but that's okay. But we'll take the clip about Mountain Gate, but I'll go out on a whim here and say the way that they're tracking, lads, they might be there for another 14 or 15 years. I reckon Big Sexy might have a little bit to say about the Gators a little bit later in the show. So to Kyle Pover and Red Onion, good on you, mate. Thanks very much for everything that you are doing. Another big weekend, boys. Results. It's funny how it's going. I can't really get a handle on where we're at the minute when you see some sides, in particular yours, Scotty, just to go so bad one week and then come out and knock these boys off the next week. It's weird, isn't it? Like, I mean, and you look at the ladders, we'll get to a little bit later, but it's wide open again. It's that middle tier. It's anyone's crack.
Really, absolutely. And I said it last week about Knoxfield. The difference between their best and worst is far too great. And when they're on, they're on. When they're off, they're way off. And again, they've come out, and obviously this week we'll get to the results soon. They are on, and they've had a great win over a side that's a genuine contender. So
Voz will have something to say about that, no doubt, a little bit later. And one game forced into a 2020. Thoughts?
It's an interesting one. I'm not sure how that works, to be honest. But
from all reports, I wasn't here, obviously, I was playing, but it was the Upway Listerfield game, and talking to Matt Mulcahy after the game, he said, look, the two captains got together and decided they just wanted to play a game of cricket, and our ground wasn't ready to play, and I think it took them up till 3 o'clock for it to be playable. But you guys comfortable when you're playing a 40 over game and you know that there's only one other game that can just decide to play a T20? I think they had to go through the right channels. I think they went to the umpires, but ultimately I think the two captains, Hicksy and Malk, got together and said that they wanted to play regardless, and a T20 was decided, and the umpires agreed, and away they went. So I don't know, Scott.
Well, I'm pretty sure there is a rule though that if you can't get a 40 over game or a 40-40 game determined, that it does revert back to a 2020. I think you have to start at 3:30 or something to revert back to a 2020. So I suppose to get a result, then that was probably their only option. But you started at 2:30 though, didn't you?
Oh, it was somewhere between 2:30 and 3 o'clock. But I'll pose this one to you. Say the grand final comes down to a Saturday washout. I'm pretty sure we've got a Sunday as reserve day.
Yep.
Have we got the following weekend? We need to check this, but is the following weekend also reserved, or is it only the Saturday, Sunday? So say, for instance, we get rain on the Saturday, and then we get the reserve day, Sunday gets played, and then we get rain half a day. Is the grand final then reverted to a 2020?
Well, it has to be, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that there is only one reserve day, and I'm sure that Plug will certainly pull us up if we're wrong. But if there's one reserve day and it gets tough, you have to get a result. So it would revert to a 2020, I'm sure.
Am I right in saying, in a regular season when it's an 80 over game, that if you're delayed that long, you can still revert to a T20? I think I remember from when I was captain that was a rule in place. Now, it may have changed, or maybe because it was a few years ago now. But I remember kicking up a bit of a stink to say, well, you know what, I would have selected a totally different team from an 80 over game to a T20.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so I mean, if that is the case, I completely don't agree with that, because you would select a different team, but you can't, because it's decided on the day, if you like. But listen, I'll put it on ice for the time being, because I may have something coming up about this game in particular on the weekend a little bit later on in another segment, so I won't say too much about this week. Yeah,
it's something that we probably, like you say, I mean, we all want a result at the end of the day, but, you know, if it gets reverted all of a sudden, there's a couple of blokes maybe that are playing even in the thirds, and you guys have picked a bloke in the thirds to play in one game, and like you said, Scotty, if it's a 2020 game, you might revert to a different side. But anyway,
but both captains decided to play the 2020, so that's if they were forced to play a 2020, then I understand that argument. But if they're both captains have said no, we want to play a 2020, which I'm assuming that both captains said they wanted, they were forcing the umpire's hand, so to speak, to play that. So I don't think it'd come down to a player option.
Before we get to the result, do you take much out of that though? Like, I mean, a 2020, and if you're up and about and you win that game,
if you lost it, I would think you'd struggle to win another game, to be honest.
Good on you. Good on you. And just before we get on to the votes, there was more of the same from some other clubs. I mean, you've been a little bit critical, as I have been, with Upper Ferntree Gully, but Scotty, you've had a fair bit to say about Mountain Gate. Actually, we all have, and it was more of the same from the Gators.
Yeah, I saw it. Listen, obviously we'll get to it a little bit later, but I think their batting, again, has let them down in a big way. But again, once again, boys, I think they were chasing a moderate total. I think it was 113 this week. So their bowling and fielding is obviously getting the job done. But then to come out and get rolled for 82, I think it was, well, we'll get to it. But it's not good enough. Honestly, not good enough.
Now, I only found out on last Thursday night that the guy by the name of Andy Hall is the coach down there, non-playing coach. Hawley, I've played a little bit of cricket against Hawley, and not only outdoor but indoor. And he's a quality individual, Andy Hall. And I mean, if he can't get that joint going, I'm not sure who or what can. So. Stay tuned at Mountain Gate. There might be something coming your way a little bit later. Boys, we'll get on to our votes. The Norm Reeve Shield votes for round 8. Scotty, head us off.
Yeah, mine was pretty straightforward this week. My 3 votes went to Stevie Devonish from Johnson Park. He's probably been lacking a little bit in form, probably confidence. He made a brilliant 109 and followed it up with 2 for 34. My 2 votes went to Cam Costick from Listerfield for his 5 for 14. Only bowled the 4 overs, obviously, because of the 2020 situation. So 5 for it's a great effort. And my 1 vote went to Big Gilbert, Adam Maloney, for his 30 and 4 for 7 against the Basin. So well done to Gilbert.
My 3 votes also goes to Stephen Devonish. Super stuff. He's a little beauty. Is Devo with that 102 far. My 2 votes go to Adam Maloney for the 4 far and 30, and Cameron Costick gets my 1 for 5 far.
And boys, I'll get accused of being biased here, and guess what? I don't care. I am.
I am. I am biased.
but to be honest, we obviously we had a bit of a chat before. It doesn't affect who he's going to get the game of golf afterwards. But I'll give him 3 votes to Adam Maloney, 4 for 7, ridiculous figures, and 30 with the bat. Now I'll justify it also a little bit, even though it doesn't affect the game of golf. Listen, Gilbert's, the big boys' performance on the weekend has obviously contributed greatly to Knoxfield winning that game of cricket against your boys, Voz, which we'll get to. If Knoxfield did win that game, then they slipped to 8th position, 2 games out of the 4. That win puts them equal on points with the 4, keeps them right in touch with that finals race. So that performance by Gil has actually probably kept our season alive in a lot of senses as well. So that's my justification for it. Also, I'm a bit biased. He's a good mate of mine. But again, it didn't affect the game of golf. So Devo, 109 of 112 balls. Obviously, fantastic effort from a fantastic person. So Devo, well done to you. Plus 2 for 34 from your 8 overs. You had a wonderful day for your side. Unfortunately, it didn't help get your side over the line. And then again, that's another justification for the big boy getting the 3, is that was in the winning side. And 1 to Cam Costick, 5 for 14 from 4 overs. Wonderful figures. Great day out for Cam. Again, in a wonderful win of the top 2 sides in the comp. And although T20, 5 for 14, well done to Cam. That's a wonderful day for you.
Stephen Devonish, game of golf. Well done, lad. Hopefully you'll take somebody down there. As I say, it's a couple of these vouchers, boys. If we get all the lads together, you can jump on one, I can jump on one, you can jump on one. We might just rent out half that course for half a day, one day, lads. So, Stephen Devonish, well done, mate. The golf voucher's coming your way at Eastwood Golf Club. To our Decoit votes, Voz, head us off.
Yeah, I gave my 3 votes to Josh Curnow from Knox Gardens in a must-win game for them to get them back on track and beating a pretty good outfit. I gave him for 3 votes for his 5 for 41. Kyle Grender got 2 from St John's for his 2 for 34 and 60. And my 1 vote went to Alex Walker from Roval. I mentioned, I think last week, that I probably should have given him a couple of votes one other game and didn't give him one, but he got me 1 vote this week for his 2 for 24 and his 41.
Okay, my 3 votes go to Kyle Grender from St John's with his 60 and 2 far. The big boy's already got one of these vouchers, so I don't know how this is going to pan out, but probably doesn't need a $50 meal voucher the way that he's going, the big car. 2 votes to Daniel Cormack from South Belgrave for his 69, and my 1 vote to Josh Curnow for his 5 far.
My votes, I think I'm very similar, if not the same as Voz. 3 votes to Josh Curnow from Knox Gardens. Massive game, 5 for 41 off 8 overs. 5 for in any format is a wonderful figures. More so in a one-day game, in a big game. Cole Grender from St John's gets my 2, 60 with the bat, 2 for 34 off 7.1 overs. It's a great day for Cole, the big fella. And Alex Walker from Roval, 41 with the bat, 2 for 24 off his full lot at 8 overs. Wonderful day. So yeah, that's mine, boys.
Okay, you know what we've done here? We've got another tie.
2 weeks in a row.
David Cruz. He's going to he'll give us another voucher, Cruzy, I'm sure. But to Kyle Grender and Josh Curnow, $50 vouchers to Parley Restaurant coming your way. They will get out to you this week at some stage. Trust me.
Pretty stiff, Josh, isn't he? You only gave him 1. He's taken 5, huh?
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Got some batsmen in there, so maybe.
No, fair enough.
And put a bit of pressure on Cruzy as well with that, mate.
Yeah.
But no, well done, boys.
I think
Good
that's
stuff.
issues with Howie, not with anything else.
So to Kyle Grender and Josh Curnow, well done, boys. You get the $50 voucher. These tables are turning on this bloke, isn't he? Look, I mean, he's starting to give it to me a little bit. Wait till this bowling team starts coming out. So, well done, boys. Well done. And thanks to David Cruz for putting in another $100 worth of vouchers. Good on you, Cruzy. Just quickly before we get on to our segments, Gary Sultry, our man there from Johnson Park and in charge of all things Juniors Region 8 and whatnot, has given me a call on the back of what we spoke about last week about our Region 8 boys not putting their hand up, our under 21 boys not putting their hand up, and he's given me a list to read out of people that he's targeting, and he wants these boys, if you can at all, on January 31, make yourself available for this Region 8 game against North East. The venue is still undecided, but it'll be somewhere that maybe, if you get a couple of the lads together and you might get a bus up and even some supporters from your club can come along and get a bus up. It's always good to a Sunday away. So these boys, please have a real good think about it. Get in touch with Gaz, or get your club to get in touch with Gaz, and just have a crack, because it's something that we need to do. We need to be represented in this Region 8 concept. So this is Gary Sultry's list. Birchie Gully, he's after Rory Bailey, Tim Parker and Nick Woods. From Listerfield, Jake Arundel, Kyle Gwynn and Mav Taylor. Knox Gardens, Hayden Morrison, Jack Margette and Josh Kerno. Upway, Jules Whetstone, Lockie Jansen, Hunter Greenall. From the Basin, Tom Edwards. Knoxfield, Matt Plumridge, Chrissy Rumble and Jacob Quigley. And from St John's, Alex Ferguson and Aaron Grenda. So to you boys, have a real good think about it and get in touch with Gaz and make yourself available for what is, it's not a Mickey Mouse concept, believe me, it's as good as you'll get from a junior perspective.
Missing a few clubs there. I would have thought Eldon Park had a few pretty handy kids under that age, that's for sure.
I'm not sure that Gaz has put him on the back burner, I'm not sure, but these are the lists that he's after straight up. So
and I would say to captains, coaches of clubs, or even presidents, vice presidents, executive, whatever, have a chat to these guys and just let them know they're representing your club at the end of the day, playing for the South East. It's a big area, but I'm sure if you have a chat to them and just let them know how important that it is and how good it will be for their own development, it might just help get these boys over the line if they can actually play.
We're right in saying you've played this, haven't you, this Region 8, back in the day?
Yeah, back when I was...
Am I right in saying that it's like a concept that gets going? And because I think I got it just from memory, David Bell played a game at the MCG. If you make it through to a certain, like, is it a final knockout type thing?
Yeah,
if you
I'm
make
not
your
sure
way
he's
through a
played
tier, you might get a game at the MCG or something.
We played on the Albert ground, we played on the Junction, so we played on some pretty good, decent grounds. That's
Very nice grounds.
It's worthwhile having a crack at, lads. So get in touch. Gary Sultry's your man. Segment number one, we're going to head off with the big boy, not this big boy, but the other big boy who's big in town. It's Josh Henry's Race with Mates. I have been very critical of these two guys next to me for not jumping on Josh's multi that he puts on for a club every single week. Now, I believe you might have got on this week, Scott.
I was on, yep.
Smack?
Negative for me.
Well, guess what? It's got up for the Olinda Cricket Club. Joshy's had an absolute day out on Saturday. What you need to do is go to Josh's page, like it, and then keep looking at it, because he regularly puts out tips and he gives us your multi. So if your club's a nominated multi, you need to like his page, comment on it as your club, and if it gets up, like it did for Olinda, you get to collect the cash. Not only that, on Saturday, boys, Josh picks 6 winners out of the card. Josh's jump on, wins, and handles Ryan Hanley, ladies and gentlemen, handles Hail Mary saluted as well. So, an absolute day out for Race with Mates. It's
You're on fire the last few weeks. Oh, the last week, in the midweek.
seriously,
as well,
even if you're not a punter, now we're not always gamble responsibly, please, but if you're not a big punter and you just want to have a little flutter here or there, and even if it's like a $10 multi, put that multi on, or $5 each way on some of his selections. If you were on Saturday, wowee, it pays for your weekend and your next weekend.
Your pockets are full, absolutely.
I'm absolutely flying here.
I was kicking myself again, but in Josh's I was actually looking after Josh and our partner here, Race with Mates, because seems to me every time I get on, it doesn't get up. Every time I don't get on, it gets up. So that's my defence. I've got no other excuse.
Not only does he do that on his page, he's providing a pathway into horse ownership and horse syndication. That's his main gig. So if that's if that floats your boat as well, and you're looking to getting into the horse racing industry, it is a fantastic industry. You have a lot of fun, and I've owned only one racehorse, and it has had a win a long time ago. And as I said on a previous show, it is one of the biggest thrills you'll get in your sporting life, believe me. So go to his page, Race with Mates. Josh Henry, we salute you, my boy. You've had an absolute blinder.
On you, Joshy.
Well done.
Oh, mate.
Segment number 2. Well, this could take up a fair bit of time. So the cricketers in our association need to have a fair and good look at themselves. It's called On a Pair.
And you're absolutely correct. We'll get to it in a sec. Firstly, as we always are, On a Pair is proudly brought to you by the Melbourne Roofing Professionals. Big Wilbur from Knox Gardens, again, specialised in Colorbond re-roofs. He'll take your old roof off, put a brand new Colorbond roof on, and again, it's been the same way all season. Mention Court in the Gully, he'll put free gutters on your home with every re-roof that's done. www.melbourneroofingprofessionals.com.au, email info@melbourneroofingprofessionals.com.au, or give Wilbs a buzz 0419 030 530. As always, Wilbur, thank you very much
Good
for
on
your
you,
support.
Wilbur.
Boys, wow, this is starting to take up a fair bit of my time. I'm going to get to that a little bit later. It's honestly, it's ridiculous, but I'm proud of us again, because guess what, boys? 5 weeks in a row.
Worked again.
We've jagged one. We have jagged one. We have jagged one. So this again, this thing is working, and I can only say that's confirmed by the fact of how long this list is. I reckon it can't be shy of 20 from the top grade alone, and even the Decoit list is growing each and every week. So I'll run through them as quick as I can. Like I said, there's a lot here. Matty Mulcahy, the captain from the Upway Tigers, superstar Matty. Cole Snyman run outs again, I believe.
He can't run, the big fellow. He's on a waterbed. He's just hopeless.
Welcome back to On a Pair for Cole. I believe he was run out the first time round as well.
You had to crack him if you had him digging him, because you can't run. You can't run, big boy. Not doing some work.
So the big Saf, mate, get some runs next week, bud. Lockie Jans from Upway, I believe that was a Golden Duck, first baller. Tommy Edwards from the Basin. Nick Freeling, also from the Basin, Voz. Confirm those two.
Yeah, that was Freezers was a first baller, and it was a wide full toss hit straight to point.
Okay, I think the My Cricket scoring was a little bit late on the weekend, and I don't think it was.
Would have been from the Basin.
I don't think it was
We had
listed.
some internet issues. It wasn't us. It was actually internet issues.
I don't think it was listed, but
And Knoxfield not knowing their passcode.
yeah, that's another one too. That is absolutely confirmed. That is correct. Mike Ruskus, I think it is, from Upper Ferntree Gully. Matthew Irving de Jong, I reckon he's been on here before. Upper Ferntree Gully, Dark. Kobe Law, Upper Ferntree Gully, 3 there from the Upper Gully boys. Again, not good enough. Lee Waldron, another Golden Duck boys, first baller from Eildon Park. Yasith De Alwis, I think it is, from Eildon Park. You need to get off the mark, son. Darren D'Souza, he actually didn't play, so he rolls over. Adara Ranasinger, I reckon he might have been here before too, boys, from JP. No runs. Josh Spencer from Monbulk. Connor Hallworth Hooker from Monbulk. There's a bit of a tongue twister. Hallworth Hooker. Craig Brockoff, Warney from Monbulk. We're welcome. This might even be the third time for Warney. You know, he's been here a couple of times, I reckon.
Tigers got him this week.
Jakey Evans from Ferntree Gully. He did not bat, so he rolls over. Jay Williams from Belgrave, again, didn't bat, rolls over. You don't get away with it. Matt Davey, I reckon he's been here for a long time, boys, but he didn't play again. I reckon he's
dead set not playing
he's
anymore.
given up on a pair. On a pair of scare.
He's out.
It scared him off. So good luck with whatever you're doing, Matty Davey. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're doing it well, because you certainly couldn't bat, and I did. Lukey Mannion, again, didn't play. We know Lukey might struggle to get back in for the rest of the season, like I said last week, but you're there round 1 next year, Lukey. You'll still be on a pair, mate. You do not escape it. And Wayne Davidson, also from Belgrave, did not play. So, boys, there's a long list. I don't know if you can see my list there. It takes up a whole A4 page of names, and I'll get to that a little bit later. All right, guys, we'll get to Decoit. Decoit list, and this is a growing list as well, guys. There's a lot to go through. Luke Guest from Roval, no runs. Ben Kramer from South Belgrave, zip. Jordan McDermott, I believe that's another Golden Duck. Jordan, not good enough. Matt Ward, South Belgrave. Tom Gelbert from Alinda, get off the mark. Andrew Bruce, he didn't contribute as well. Callum Croxford, Mountain Gate. Mitchy Goddard. Now, Mitchy's a very handy bat, and he's come out and got a goal.
Was his rolling team of the year not that long ago too?
And that's why he's out. He's in the duck.
You don't help your side, and a side that's not batting very well, which we'll get to. Mitchy making a Golden Duck son. I saw he took a few wickets though, so at least you bounced back, my boy. Pete Castledine, Mountain Gate, again, no runs. And
Here it is.
boys, proud to say we've done it yet again. Aidan Whitfield from Mountain Gate,
Yes.
you have made 2 weeks in a row. No runs. That is terrible by you, and I really hope you enjoy Division 4 next game, my boy.
Surely.
Callum Craigie, I think Callum may have been here before, I might be wrong, but from St John's, Duck. Ben Lees, St John's, Duck, and young Nathan Hart from Mountain Gate did not play. You don't get away with it. You roll over and get off the mark if you play next week, young man.
This bloke walked in today, he's cranky. He's very, very cranky for the fact that this is Fettingham taking up far too much of his time on a Sunday. The big fella does not need any extra work on a Sunday other than to sit on the couch, relax, especially when the test is on. And all he's doing, it seems to be doing, Scotty, he's taking up far too much of your time. There's too many blokes out there making zero.
I'm not getting much change over an hour, to be honest. By the time I sit there and flick through the whole thing, it's there's little ducks appearing everywhere, guys. Improve it, please.
And people that say it doesn't mean anything. I think Quiggles got off the mark and there was tooting the horn. He celebrated like Dave Warner. He jumped up and threw his helmet up in the air. But
It's, like I said, I mean, that list
means
just
a lot.
shows, blokes are actually thinking about it, like I said before. And if you're not doing it to the sides that are in the field, if you're not doing it, use some tactics, because adding further pressure to what they've already got is, and listen, if it's working, I'm happy that it's working. And listen, I'll take a little hit for going through so many names, but please, let's just shorten it a little bit, guys. I know you guys are better than that.
Maybe not. Anyway.
Maybe not, absolutely.
Segment number 3, it's Vos's rolling teams of the year.
as I predicted, there's not too many changes this week. It's just going to start to peter out and all
Less
the,
controversial, let's say.
Yeah, no, just all the carry on that went on early, which never needed to happen, has now just subsided. So, one change: Warnie Brockhoff's out for his duck. He's batting poorly. We need him to make more runs. Batting at 11, but no, he's out. Our number one spinner comes in Cam Kostick, so he'll come into the side. So our rolling team of the year is Aaron Brunner from Belgrave, Blake Walter, just holding on to his spot there, mate. How you want to live from the Basin, Jackson Waters from Upway, Peter Dunlop from Knox Gardens, Anthony Brolick from Listerfield, Jaden Bradbury, Ferntree Gully, Cameron Wheeler from, I think he's from Upway.
He's there.
Upway, yep. Jake Sheriff from the Basin, Tim Shivers from Listerfield, Duncan Marr, Monbulk, and Cam Kostick now from Listerfield, with 12th man Nathan Walsh still.
What does Walsh got to do to get in that side?
Just make more runs than the bloke who's 5th on the list. He's got to do that.
He's getting starts anyway. He's had quite a few 40s, I reckon, this season so far. So maybe it's going to take that half century or more to actually slot him into the 11.
I'd have him my side, Skipper. Country week, I mean, not Nathan. He don't get the shit.
You didn't want him in earlier on this year.
What rubbish! I've always
No, you didn't. There was one night you said, well, why is Walsh in?
If not,
You did. Let's
take me back.
Look back to the
let's
yard.
Go back to the video tapes. All right, mate. I'll give you a week off here. I'm not even going to have it. I'm not even going to complain about that. The Decoit side, please, Scott.
Decoit side. Same. We had 2 changes. My little mate Joshy Langer's out now. He went from 12th man, then got in the side, and now he's
He's got a 30 or something on the weekend. Didn't
performances.
He?
No, he only got 20, I think.
20?
But
Steve
he was
Josh.
bowling. I think he only took one wicket, so he's out on both scales now. So he's not in the top 5 for bats or bowlers, wickets. So he's out. And Alex Wilson, who's had a reasonable year from St John's, is out. In is big Lukey Turner from Mountain Gate, who now I think he's an equal wicket taker for the comp, which is good because he's a key for them improving anyway. And Taff, our mate Taff,
The big
Gozzi, he's in the side now. So we've got
Taff.
Alex Ferguson, Jake Sarley, Cole Chandler, all from St John's, Daniel Cormick from South Belgrave, Dylan Wild from Knox Gardens, Michael Hyatt from Alinda as our keeper, Monto Pereira from Roval, Luke Turner from Mountain Gate, Harley McDermott from South Belgrave, Nixon Adcock from Knox Gardens, and Taff Kamagozzi from Olinda, and Alex Walker is still in the side as our 12th man.
Is it, Walker was in there as 12th man last week, is that
Yep.
right? Yeah, okay. Oh well, not bad. Not bad.
No,
I'm
it's
okay
pretty
with that, but yeah, as I said, you need to start sending them to me so I can start doing a bit of research
Oh, I
on it
can do that
before
for
you
you.
just
No worries.
land it on my chest. All right, that's the Voz's rolling teams of the year, so it is what it is, and doesn't matter what we say about it. It's his, and he has to wear whatever goes his way.
Yep.
So, yep.
Happy to.
Absolutely.
Segment number 4, Smacks Whack.
Thanks once again. And again, as always, we're Smacks Whack is proudly brought to you by Aloft Roofing, which is Benny and Scott Gerloff. So all aspects of roof plumbing, the boys' little side business, homes, garage, pergolas, faces, gutters, all that sort of stuff. Jump on their Instagram page or give Benny a call, 0416 607 752. No job too big or small. Contact the boys, they'll be more than happy to come and give you a chop out. Thanks to both boys yet again, and I hope that your business starts kicking some massive goals real soon, mates.
Good luck, boys.
All right, boys. The first of Smacks Whack this week, and there's only a couple of them, I guess, but I'm going to give some sides a bit of a clip for their batting. And I'm going to call it the fear of 3 because there's a hell of a lot of sides in our comp that are scared of making 3 figures. It looks like, and I'm talking right through all grades, including vets, all that sort of stuff.
Curing team, isn't it?
It's honestly, and I'll only read out. Listen, I'll only read out a few of them just to give you some examples. Because honestly, if I went through the whole list, well, Smacks Whack would probably go for half an hour on its own. So we can't afford to do that, obviously. First of all, we've got Eildon Park 3rd 11, all out for 38. It's just an absolutely disgraceful performance. Upper Gully 4th 11, all out for 64. Again, like there's 35 overs in that grade. That's a lot of balls. 64, not good enough. JP 5th 11, all out for 65. I mean, I don't understand this. Alinda 5th 11. Now, whether they played one short or someone got injured, but they ended up 9 for 48. Not even making 50. I mean, honestly, guys, jeez. And South Belgrave Blue Vets. I told you I don't miss anyone even get into the Vets. They're playing against their own South Belgrave side. They've got two sides in the same grade. Now, I think the South Belgrave side, that isn't the blue side, the other side, they made a decent score of 200. So the other boys are coming out to chase. And you can imagine, like, it's game on when you're playing against your own club members. It is game on, and the South Belgrade Blue Vets have come out and been rolled for 39. So, my God, like honestly, my God.
Darren Buck, one of the boys here, played for South Belgrave. I wonder if he was a part of that. Peter Moody's another one, the world famous horse trainer.
Yeah, so I mean that's you can, I don't know. Normally you would think they might hang around for a few beers.
I'd like to know who's selecting these sides. If they just don't
No, these are fair point. But you reckon we're going to put on a few beers after the game. There's 22 at least, will players only, plus all the other club members that would no doubt come down. I wonder if the South Belgrade Blue Boys just jumped in their car and gone home, because I reckon they should have. You should hold your heads in shame, honestly. And the other one I'm going to bring up, like we mentioned before, is yet again, we mentioned them last week, Mountain Gate 1st 11. Again, they failed to make even 3 figures. Rolled for 82. But again, boys, they've rolled the side that they're playing in, so higher on the ladder, well, obviously, because they haven't won a freaking game, but for 113. So their bowling and fielding is obviously, it's on. They're going all right. Now, you've got to be confident going out chasing down 113. They've come out again. That's 3 games in a row.
Enough's enough now, isn't it?
That's 3 games in a row from a first 11 side. 82, it's absolutely not good enough. Blokes, Mitchy Goddard obviously made a golden duck. He's one of, if not their better bats. They've got some good experienced players in that top order as well. And to come out and do that, honestly, fix it for your own club and for your own pride, and make sure you turn a corner and get a win by the end of the season. Honestly, not good enough.
If they're not taking that like to heart now, after 3 of them, 3 like real horrible performances, and probably let's talk about the whole year being horrible. They need to really start just digging some deep holes and either hide in them or try and get out of them and do something and get a bit of respect back for yourselves and your club, because that is just deplorable, especially when you've got a guy like Andy Hall that's down there in charge.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Guys, fix it, and I can't wait to actually, when we go through results, to actually read out the out of win, because you're way off it at the moment. Next clip, yeah, absolutely goes to Aidan Whitfield. I read out, got a pair, mate. That is terrible. Enjoy Divvy 4, because I don't think you're going to help that side get more than 82 runs, to be honest. The next clip, or is it a whack clip, I reckon, is to the Upway Recreation Reserve.
What's wrong with that?
There's one game on the weekend out of the top grade that
We had some rain up here, Scott. We're nearly the highest in the hill.
I checked on the internet and it said there was less than a mil everywhere. I even googled Upway, less than a mil. This week we film the show here right now. Look, it's listen, beautiful facility, beautiful looking ground from up here. We're in the Taj Mahal of club rooms, especially if you come from a club like Knoxfield who have got moderate rooms, let's call them, compared to this joint.
Change rooms.
And then change rooms, and then well, that's exactly right. And to hear that there was one game out of the whole top 2 grades that had to revert to a T20 game because one end was underwater and obviously was for a long time. Where you guys spend, maybe it's a Shy Yarra Ranges, whatever it is, spend all this money, or 1 point whatever million on these beautiful rooms. They've obviously done some drainage out there. There's obviously either a blockage or
it was rain, Scott.
They've stuffed up.
We just had far too much rain and we're high.
Well, that doesn't fly. It's not good enough. Not good enough.
Oh.
For every other game you're going to start, and I'm talking games up in Mumble, games up in Sylvan, games at Belgrade, games that are up in the hills as well, all going to start. There's one that didn't, and it's this joint here. So the Yarra Rangers, it's not the club's fault, you can't control that.
No,
but the Yarra Rangers, will come and fix up that blockage, obviously, that's at one end. It's making puddles everywhere, and it takes so long to sort it out, had to play T20. Not good enough. And finally, again, all players on a paired list, and all batters that have been there the last few weeks. The last few weeks, it's been a significant list. Just get off the friggin' mark. Obviously, I take so much time of my own personal time on a Sunday, getting that list done. The last thing I want to be doing is sitting there for nearly an hour running through this stuff. But because blokes just can't seem to at least push one into the gap, get off the mark. Mate, I'll batter at number 10, 11 for a lot. Even I can do that. Let's be honest. Absolute disgrace. Get off the mark. I want no more than half a dozen next week on when we do the show, boys.
Okay. And hopefully there's 3 of them are pairs.
Yeah.
It'd be very handy. All right, Scotty, another good week with the whack. I don't mind that at all. Just before we get on to the last segment, our local lower grade heroes sitting up here at the moment. We've got a ladies' game of cricket going on. And this isn't just to fill, let's say, the pockets or anything else of Upway or Alinda, but we've got a ladies team and so have Alinda, and we play a 2-team competition, and these girls, as we can see out there, they are absolutely loving it. So I just did a little bit of a shout out to any other cricket club out there who was thinking, Scotty had the Basin girls playing again last year. They played last year against our girls. Again, it was only a 2-team competition, but this year we could only manage 2 teams again. So these girls that love their game, it's a softball contest. They love it. They're absolutely loving it. And the girls that represent Upway, I can say firsthand that they are fantastic. They're here on Thursday night for meals. They're here for Saturday. They follow the 1s and the 2s around. They share the love to the 1s and the 2s in the viewing aspect. And what they bring to your cricket club is enormous. I mean, you, Scott, I'm sure you can say a little bit on what the Basin girls did for you, but for me personally, what they do for us, not only on field but off field, is enormous for your club. So do yourself a favour out there to the other cricket clubs. If you can manage to get yourself some girls together, it's just they really enjoy it, and what they bring to your club is fantastic. Don't they? Do you agree on that?
Yeah,
Scott?
absolutely. I think it's. For all these battling clubs too, it helps with facilities. I know it sounds like it's rubbish, but if you've got women's cricket, it really helps with getting new club rooms, or at least what do they call them, the porter club rooms or whatever. It's something different, but they certainly assist. And it's about growing your club and growing them on and off the field. And when you got, whether it be wives, girlfriends, whatever, playing, it comes a Saturday night becomes a pretty big night for your club financially. And
functions, almost outnumber the boys sometimes.
And when I spoke to Bobcat about it, I was trying to discuss to try and get him to play on a Saturday night after the ones or twos finish at home, and at least drag a bit of crowd and do that, and it gives them some great support. You know, obviously on the night that they play, you don't get a lot of people supporting them. So, I mean, I reckon it'd be good just to let them play on a Saturday night for a couple of hours after the main game's finished, just for a bit of entertainment or whatever.
There's a hardball concept as well, and with the pads and all that sort of stuff. But our girls are playing the softball, and it's easy. The boundaries are reduced, and they have a blast. So, any other cricket clubs out there that are willing, maybe next year, because the girls do get a little bit bored just playing each other week in, week out. So, yeah, have a good think about it out there to the other clubs. Might be something that you might want to look into.
And see here, they have heaps of fun. Heaps of fun. We'll go out after the show and have a stubby and watch for a little while. And the laughter, the laughter and stuff you hear going on out there. Obviously, they're having a great time. So other clubs, yeah, think about it for next season. Absolutely.
Stevie Gannell does a fantastic job for us. So thank you, Bobcat. Scott Vozzo, segment number 5, the local lower grade heroes.
Yeah, thanks, mate. We've got a few to get through, so I'll get through these. Brad Trinick from Monbulk made 88 not out. Bo Mitchener from Listerfield made 79. Zach Taylor from Listerfield in the same game made 75. Adam Lovell from St John's made 100 not out. Is he play? I'm pretty sure he's played a lot of ones cricket.
Yeah, a long time ago, but he's a ripper.
You're playing too low, mate, so you go back up. Anthony Chandler, 5 for 13. Big chain.
Oh, the big chain.
I think it's his first time he's bowled this year by the looks of his figures. So well done to you. Riley Hannigan, 4 for 16 from Upway.
Hannigan, yes.
No?
I know him very well. Coached Riley to 2 premierships in football, and he's a very, very good fellow, Riley. Well done.
The next, a Basin kid, Jack Dobson at Baronia Churches made 81. Jay Westbury made 82 not out for Ferntree Gully. My player of the round was Fred Famia, who took 5 for 5 from Eildon Park. He is their captain. Gary Brown from Orovale, 4 for 18. Martin Wood, 94 from Belgrave, playing too low,
What's
mate.
he playing, Woody?
Yeah, Woody. That was Division 7 or 8, I think.
Woody, Division 3 last year.
Brad Wiseman from Belgrave made a duck.
Yes. Made a duck on last Sunday too, the big boy.
You're playing too high, mate. Give it up.
That's a pair.
Yes.
The fair, he's
Fair
got
for
it.
a big fella.
Doug Barton, 87 from Mountain Gate. Dylan Parker, 4 for 6 from Bayswater. And Clayton Spooner. Now, this is the kid who made 100 off about 8 balls up at the patch.
Yep.
He's now taken 5 for 29 from Monbulk. So,
no
obviously, an
Wicks-
all-rounder. Probably
Wicks
start
in there?
pushing up the grades there too. So.
No Wicks in there, Richard Wicks from
No,
Upway?
he made 66, mate. So, if you actually knew what was going on at your club, you'd know that he didn't qualify.
Well batted anyway, Wixie.
But on Wixie,
I know
good knock, mate.
you're in
66
my
solid.
segment.
He wanted you in the team of the year as well with Cam Wheeler.
Oh, well done to all boys on that list. That's wonderful.
Yeah, fantastic.
Good days.
All right, lads, we'll get into some results. As always, the results that you'll see are brought to you by Josh Rickard, JR Sports Media and Design. So to Joshy, thank you very, very much, mate, for what you're doing.
On to Josh.
I'll kick it off, boys, I think. I'll go with the first game. It was Monbulk versus Belgrave. Monbulk won the toss and elected to bat. Off their 40 overs, they made 9 for 148, with Jason Fraser making 46, Jordan Wilkinson 35. The best of the bowlers for Belgrave, Jay Williams taking 2 for 35, and a couple of one-fors there. In reply of 35.3 overs, Belgrave 3 for 152, with Jared McPhee making 68, Jordan King 45 not, and Aaron Brunner 21. Jordan Wilkinson 1 for, and Duncan Marr 1 for. A good win, and a win that Belgrave needed, lads.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, their batting's always going to be pretty strong, and they actually had a target that they could chase down. So their top order's as strong as pretty much any, I think. They've got some very good bats there, and their bowlers, they're still well and truly undermanned with their balls, so they're showing a lot of heart, and they're obviously bowling in the right areas. I think Jay Williams was playing threes not that long ago, and he's become one of their major bowlers. So yeah, they've kept them to a score that they could defend, and they've done it pretty easily.
Jared McPhee likes his chances of sneaking into fourth bottom. Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. And why wouldn't he? He's a very good player, Jared McPhee, that's for sure. And he's one of their keys for them to push out of that relegation zone. And with the results on the weekend, it's certainly now a possibility that they could creep out of that relegation area.
Well done about Rove.
Absolutely right, boys.
Onwards and upwards to you. Big Sexy with the second one.
Oh, I've got Upper Gully versus Eildon Park. Upper Gully won the toss. They actually sent Eildon Park in to bat. Eildon Park, 39.5 overs, were all out for 147. We had Jurgen Anderson making 36, Ryan Bullock 29, and David Smythe got 27. With the ball, Mike Ruskus, 2 for 9. Homicide, Corey Williams got 2 for 20, and there was a couple of one-fers after that as well. In reply, Jason, a reasonably moderate total. Upper Gully probably would have backed themselves. They've fallen 22 runs short, so not far off, but still they've fallen a few runs short there. Homicide again, he's topped off a great day, 55, not with the bat. Well done. Tommy Roloff chipped in to 18. For the ball, looks like Hicksy might have been the difference there. The skipper stood up, boys, 3 for 32. Bullock, Anderson, and Evans have all chimed in with 1 apiece. So, a reasonably tight one. Eildon Park have gotten over the line. They obviously be happy with that result. Upper Gully probably obviously disappointed that a score they would have thought they'd be able to chase down. But again, they haven't set the world on fire this season, Upper Gully, and yeah, well done to Eildon Park boys on your efforts there.
Run me through, boys. You've both captained various cricket clubs over the time. Run me through the winning the toss and sending somebody in. Is that like a condition-based thing more often than not? I mean, if you really want, especially on a one day, I'm not sure, but I've always, in my time, especially if you win the toss, I've always liked to bat first. Obviously, conditions count, but I mean, do you reckon that might have been a difference there if you win the toss and send someone in the bat?
On the weekend, I thought that we bowled first. Not that obviously it didn't help us in the end, but I felt that we wanted to bowl first. But when there's a pitch and the moisture builds up overnight or whatever, there can be a bit in it early. I know it sounds stupid when we're all playing on the same thing, but as the day went on, you knew that the weather was going to clear up, so the ground gets better.
Yeah.
It suits your bowlers more that second half because they can hold their footing. But then there's arguments either way. They can hold their footing, but it's easy to score because the ground gets clear because there's not water. There's so many different variables. I would always bat first, but there's always that argument of bowling first, and this weekend was probably a reasonable argument to bowl first. I'll
raise this question if it wasn't Upper Gully either, by the way, but it just so happens that it is Upper Gully and it's this game, so that's why I'd like to talk about it. Scotty, thoughts?
Personally, when I won the toss, I batted first every single time, and that's why we're playing the 3 different formats, I suppose. In the season, we had the longer format and the shorter format all in. I would always bat first. I think runs on the board. In the 3 premierships that we did win in a row there at Knoxville not too long ago, we were blessed. We batted first every time. A couple of them.
Yeah, they were blessed.
Yeah, a couple of them. We especially the first one. We only set a moderate total and it paid off because runs on the board. I think it just builds pressure. There's obviously reasons why sides do it. Now, whether it's they feel like they're a better chasing side. They see the target there, their boys know what they've got to achieve. I'm sure that all the clubs are doing because certainly Upper Gully aren't the only ones to have done it. They've got their own reasons.
Sure.
Unfortunately, certainly doing an analysis on it and go through I know that we go through the games and what teams have done chasing and what they've done batting first. So, it's certainly something that teams do look into. Is that something that they wasting their time on? Possibly.
It's one of those things, you do it and you win, you're a genius. You do it and you don't, and your tactics get questioned. It's one of those things, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Okay, Up Tacoma, next one is mine. Up Tacoma versus Listerfield. The game was turned into a 2020 because of ground conditions. Upway won the toss and elected to bat off their 20 overs. Were all out for 129. With Andrew Evans, he got demoted out of opening the batting and was put in, I think, at 7. and ended up making 41 off 23 because the captain thought that he bats too slow, and it was a good old FU to M. Mulcahy for dropping him down the order. So well done to Evo. Jackson Waters with 37 and Jules Whetstone with 21. Best of the bowlers was Cameron Costick, 5 for 14, Harrison Carter, 2 for 17, and Tim Shivers, 2 for 28. In response, Listerfield got there comfortably in the end off 18.2 overs, only losing 4 wickets for 130. Jake Arundel making 40, Nathan Walsh 28, Nathan Hicks 27. For the bowlers, it was 1 each to Wheeler, Waters and Wiles. Look, talking to Mulk after the game, he's not going to take too much into or out of that game. It wasn't our best performance, but it was only a 20 over format, so I don't think there's been a whole lot lost. We'd like to see how we go against what now is the ladder leader in Listerfield in the 40 over format, so it's a 2020 concept. He said Listerfield outplayed him by no stretch of the imagination there, but he's not going to take a whole lot to heart about that loss. So well done to the Beaver, well done to the boys for getting a game. I would have liked to have seen it. We built it up last week as the top of the table clash, so it would have been nice to have seen the 40 over concept and see how this game pans out, but Listerfield too good in the end.
Yeah, I would have thought that you'd want to play the 40-40 format to get a really good look at who your opposition is and what they're going to be.
So you wouldn't take too much out of that, would you, as opposition? I mean, you only looked at them for 2020 and we know what the 2020 concept's like.
And same with Listerfield as well. Like I said, Mulk didn't take much. Listerfield, listen, obviously back the points to be wrapped with that. They jumped the top spot. But I think as far as what's yet to come, and these two sides will play finals, and where they play each other is yet to be seen. But I don't think the Listerfield will take too much out of that as far as having
home ground advantage, eh?
Yeah, the only one thing would be is if a batsman was out of form and they've come in and played the 2020 format where they've had to swing and fail again, I don't care who you are, that still will be affecting them mentally.
Yeah, true, very true, absolutely.
Big Sex, next one.
Next one I've got is Ferntree Gully footballers versus Ferntree Gully, the Ferntree Gully derby, if you want to call it that. The footballers won the toss, decided to have a bat, and were all out for 157 in the 40th, in the last over. With the bat, the skip, Cole McElroy, ended up with 52, not too much after that. For the ball for the Gully boys, for the Blues, Jake Evans, 3 for 18. He's obviously bowled very well there, Jakey. Paddy Masterton,
your boy,
2 for 37, my boy. Go Paddy, hope you're going really well there, son. And Bailey and Christensen chimed in with 1 apiece. In reply, the Gully boys, they've done it very comfortably in the end, and they've asserted themselves, boys, as a genuine side to look out for. Ended up chasing them down, only losing the 1 wicket, 1 for 159 in the 34th over. So well done to the Gully boys. Our boy Joshy Henry, again with the bat, 68 not. Well done, Joshy, unbelievable, mate. Well done, son. Jeffermenko with 48, stiff not to get a half century, mate, but and Princess Bradbury, 29 not out there, obviously working with Joshy to get the boys over the line. And it was Mags, boys, who got the 1 wicket for the footballers. So, like I said, that Ferntree Gully have announced themselves. That's a big win for them against a side that, who knows on their day, like we've spoken about, can achieve anything. So well on to the Gully boys, and you know what, you're genuinely up there with the top sides now.
Game clear third, so they'd be very happy with that. And the boys at the top are doing the job. The wickets lost, they're not losing a whole lot of wickets in any chase or setting targets at the minute. And they've still got Big Butsy to come back. I don't know if he's going to, how many more games he's going to play. So he's only going to add, but then again, someone has to miss. So do they just say, Butsy, you can stay up there and we don't really need you at the minute? But
Ron say Butsy's played 2. And it's 4 to qualify, 7 to go. So
he'll qualify.
Absolutely. He'll qualify. He's got 7 games to get 2 more in before finals.
Just look for his name down in the lower grades that he doesn't actually play. Just make sure
we'll
it's all above board.
That'll be a significant whack if that happens. So I'm sure it won't, but it would be, believe me.
They're flying the boys down the gully, and just when we do read out the ladders, you'll see how tight and how important that win was, and especially against footballers. And well done to Ferntree Gully. Just keep on keeping on, boys.
Well done, boys.
Well, that was the game of the 2 quiet achievers, I think, that no one sort of expected much from this year. And They've pantsed them, Furniture Galley said the football will be pretty disappointed, I think.
That is a panting, isn't it?
Yeah, I
33 overs,
absolutely.
one down.
And listen, the one for 159, that's a wonderful batting performance by the Gully boys. And they'll get a lot of confidence. They'll take a lot of confidence out into the coming weeks, I'm sure.
They don't need a lot of confidence down there. There's a couple of boys, that just prance around there looking beautiful. So the confidence isn't a problem at Wally Chew, Scotty.
Absolutely not.
No doubt about that. Well, I've got 2 games because I missed a turn. You didn't get me in,
really?
so it's all right. I won't be talking about one of them for long, so it's probably worked out well. Knox Gardens won the toss and sent Johnson Park in. Johnson Park compiled 8 for 191 off their 40 overs, with Stevie Devonish pretty much the only batsman to do anything, making a well put together 109.
Well done, Devo.
The best of the bowlers for Knox Gardens, Jared Butcher again, 3 for 36. And Josh McGowan 2 for 38, so the 2 spinners there. Well, it's actually probably the 4 spinners with Navinder Singh taking 1 and Trent Evans, if he was bowling his spin, there's another 1 wicket. In reply, Knox Gardens passed them with 2.1 overs to spare. Mitchy Gregory, 54 not out. He can whack him when he's going.
Yeah, well done, Mitchy.
Adam Wild, 45. So these 2 are the ones that put a decent partnership on against the Basin early on in the year. Really smart cricketers. Joey Morcello 30 and Peter Dunlop 24, and Steve Devonish again the best of the bowlers 2 for 34. Yeah, I don't know. The Johnson Park was one to win, wasn't it? With 190 at Knox Gardens is not a bad score. I mean, Knox Gardens obviously their batting is their strength, but 190 at Knox Gardens is not a bad one-day score.
This was another win the toss and send someone in.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was.
Yep. So
Well
worked that way for him. Worked out for him.
Not much more the Skip can do, boys. He's come out. He's made 109, 112. He's got the side a reasonable total there. Do you think you'll be able to defend? And unfortunately, his boys have looked like they've let him down.
Yep. But Knox Gardens keep rolling on now.
Righto, Voz, with the last game.
Yes, Knoxfield versus the Basin. Knoxfield won the toss and elected to bat, making 5 for 185 off their 40 overs. With James Petrosky making 42 not out, Adam Maloney 30, Matt Plumridge 29 and Jacob Belfour 24 runs through slips. Best of the bowlers was Trent Phillips 2 for 37, and in reply the Basin were dismal, all out for 97 with no one really of note to make runs. Adam Maloney 4 for 7, Chrissy Rumble 3 for 13, Josh Lindner 2 for 25. It wasn't a great result, but as I said to you guys before, I actually am really confident moving forward from here that we'll be there at the point end of the year. I think enough's enough now. We've been underperforming. A lot of things probably didn't go our way, but I'm really keen for the rest of the year, and I think we all are now, to make amends, and I'm sure that we'll be there when the whips are cracking.
I have no doubt that you will as well, but like you said, Scott, your best and your worst, the gap's far too great, and that just shows it. I mean, to knock one of the big boys off like that, and that's convincing. That's a smacking.
It is. And for our boys, I suppose the great thing about it is they've had a bit of an all-round performance. 185 on the top ground, like I said, it's probably a bit below par, but it's still a score that you have to chase.
Absolutely,
you have to get them. But then to come out and obviously bowl the way the boys have. Chrissy Rumble at the top, to get sort of the top, I'm sure it was his 3 wickets with the top 3 or 4 bats, bowling really well. And then for Big Gill to come in and get 1 or 2 sort of lower middle order, then clean it all up. It's a wonderful effort by our boys. Well done. I can tell you, we certainly celebrated hard as we do after the game. I'll tell you what, the big Tross boys, Big Gilbert, I all said, watch this bloke strut back into the club, and boy, I'll tell you, the old shoulders were back and he's strong. So well done to Gilly.
He deserves it, mate. They pantsed us, and it's getting to a point where it's getting embarrassing for our club, to be honest. And it's probably a draw the line in the Sam moment for us, and that's probably a Knoxfield thing too. I mean, Knoxfield have probably embarrassed us quite often of late, and it's time for us boys to get a bit of revenge and a bit of redemption, and moving forward, this is where it starts.
What's the story with the top ground, bottom ground situation? Where are you at with that?
We're hoping to be back on it this week.
Okay.
So we're back.
And I won't bang on too much on the board, but like I said, for our boys, that's basically like the old 8-point game or whatever it is. But it's that keeps us equal with points for the top 4. If not, we slide down to 8, 2 games out, so a massive win at a crucial time for our boys. So well done.
Okay, we'll get to that ladder now that Big Sex was just talking about. It's headed by Listerfield on 42, Upway 39, Ferntree Gully 33, and the Basin on 27. That is your 4. Knoxfield just out on 27, equal with the Basin. Knox Gardens on 24, Footballers 24, Monbulk 21, JP 18. Eildon Park on 15, Belgrave on 12, and Upper Ferntree Gully on 6. A real logjam through the middle there, so it sets up a real interesting last 6-7 games. So it could be game on there through the middle there. So, and relegation sort of opens itself up. We said last week that it was, well, I did, said it was set. JP need a win.
Yeah, far from it now. Absolutely far from it.
Righto, lads, we'll get on to Decoit. 3 games, ladder, and next week, and we're done. Okay, I'll head off with the first game. It is Alinda taking on Mountain Gate. Alinda won the toss and elected to bat, and they were all out in the 33rd over for 113, with Joshy Langer omitted from the rolling team of the year with 41. He said he only got 20. See, that's where your rolling team sucks.
He's about 20 behind, so that's fine.
Anyway, bad luck, Josh. I'm all over it, and you should still be in that team. Best of the bowlers for Mountain Gate was Luke Turner, 4 for 18. Mitchie Goddard, another guy who's out of that side as well, 3 for 24. And our mate, Kevy Attackador. Is that how you pronounce it? Attackador, 2 for 36. In response of 31.1 overs, Mountain Gate all out 82. With nobody worth mentioning with the bat. Big Taff, 3 for 11. Liam Humphreys, 3 for 21. Dominic Woodfield, 2 for 19. And the Boxman, 1 for 4. Look, I've run out of things to say about Mountain Gate, so all I can say is well done to Olinda on that win.
On your bloods.
Big Sexy.
Over to me, I get St John's Tacoma versus Knox Gardens. St John's won the toss, decided to have a bat first. They were all out for 203. Must have been the last over, I dare say. We mentioned him before, Big Cole Grenda made 60. Jake Sarley continues on with his wonderful season. Jake, 57. Aaron Grenda with 21. For the ball, we mentioned I think he got our player of the week, or tied player of the week earlier on. Josh Kerno, 5 for 40 from his overs. Well done. Spencer Stuckey with 2 for. Travis Mulder, again, the evergreen. Travis Foxy Mulder, 1 for 32. Would it be Travis Jr.? No, I think it's Big Fox. And Matty Young, 1 for 56. Got a bit of tap. Knox Gardens have come out, chased the score down in the last over. Tight one, 9 for 205. Dylan Wild, 39. Hayden Morrison, 33. Tyler Vulanas, I think it is. Sorry about if I got that pronunciation incorrect. With 26. And Foxy again with 21. Jeez, Foxy, welcome back, son. Welcome back. For the ball, for the Saints, Cole Grenner topped off a great day, 2 for 34. Bowie Newman, 2 for 39. And Sir Alex Ferguson and Dean Lucas chimed in with 1 apiece. So, boys, that's a
cracking game.
That's a very tight game by the looks of it. Come right down the wire. But that is a massive win for Knox Gardens against the Saints now. That's a couple on the trot. I think they've lost now, the Saints, after their ripping start. We said, I think last week you said, Harry, that Dino Palandri said that last week's loss was the one that they probably thought they might have needed to have. Yep. And it obviously has to help them guys with a bit of confidence because they've been pipped again at the post. Listen, I'm sure the Saints will feature in finals and feature highly in finals. They've been too good this season not to.
Well, they won't fall out.
But Knox Gardens, listen, I think they're still, and we'll get to the game later on, Rob, they're still down at the lower end of the ladder, but it keeps them in touch, only slightly. Game and a half out. Is it one game?
One game.
Out. So
one game.
It keeps them in touch, and like I said, boys, I think I've mentioned it once before, so let's hope Knox Gardens, because they were our early picks at the start of the season, have a much improved second half, and listen, they're well on their way to doing that.
The whole club down there seems to have really found their way, hasn't it? Like we spoke 3 games in that they were 0-3 the ones, and I'm pretty sure that the twos weren't going much better, and they've hit their mojo and they've found their way. The boys down
They
there.
put that disastrous year for all of us of 2020 behind them, and onwards and upwards in 2021. So good start, boys. Well done.
Good on them. The ladder reads St John's, Tacoma, and South Belgrave. Oh, hang on, I've left him off again. Sorry, Scott. Sorry, before I get onto the ladder, Scott's got the last game. I've left him off again. Give me a tap, mate. I'm just... Last game, please, Voz.
Righto, I've got South Belgrave versus Roval. South Belgrave won the toss and elected to bat, compiling 9 for 150 at Roval. Daniel Cormack making 60, Harley McDermott 27, and Ollie De Silva 20. The best of the bowlers was Gunnar Wardener with 2 for 18, Alex Walker 2 for 24, and Gooden Warner 2 for 30.
Very well done.
That's why I gave you that game.
Thank you. Come on there. Roval passed them off the in 38.2 overs, compiling 6 for 151 with Alex Walker 41, Guna Warden 34, Pereira 22, and Wood, hope I pronounced that correctly, on 18. The best of the bowlers, Ollie De Silva with 3 for 21. They won't be happy with that, South Belgrave, I wouldn't have thought.
No. Well, had they won that with the other result,
would have been on top.
they go to the top of the table, yeah. So, I don't know.
I saw Big Hilly, who wasn't playing for whatever reason, on the weekend down watching Knoxfield's third 11, and Hilly actually said to me, on our day we can win this thing. He was pretty confident that and he reckons the Roval boys that on their day they can win it.
They need him in the side if they're going to win it.
Yeah, well, that is
I would
true.
have thought anyway.
Why didn't you play? Does anyone know why he didn't play?
I do.
I think he's
Probably for our X-rated show.
yeah, he's having a week off. Let's put it that way. He's having a week off. He filled me in. It is what it is. I mean, it's not my business to comment on it, but yeah, let's hope that sorts itself out. Big Hilly's back in that side because, like I said, I mean, if he believes that they can win it, and by results, I mean, absolutely they can. He's only got to be strength of that side and give him a better chance to do so.
Ladder, Scott?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Sorry.
Jump in.
The ladder reads St John's, Tacoma, and South Belgrave on 33, Roval on 30, and Olinda 27. That is your 4. Knox Gardens just outside on 21, and Mountain Gate yet to open the account. Right, boys, just quickly, next week I'll have our results, and I haven't got them tonight, sorry, but I still reckon you might just be leading.
Well, I picked
reckon
Knox Gardens to beat St John's.
I think there's two different with me at the tail and Voz on top. I reckon that's where we sit.
Okay, so next week's program reads Listerfield versus Upper Ferntree Gully.
Listerfield.
Yep, Listerfield for me too.
Yep. Eildon Park v Knoxfield.
Knoxfield.
Yep, I'm going the Knights.
Yep, me too. Basin versus Footballers.
Basin.
This will be a good game.
No, I'll pick the Basin to bounce back, absolutely.
I'm going to go Footballers.
Shock me.
That's who doesn't want to see us there.
Johnson Park versus Ferntree Gully.
Birchie Gully.
Yeah, Ferntree Gully, they're in some tremendous form, the Gully boys.
Also, Monbulk versus Upway.
Oh, I said Upway would go through undefeated, and that's not going to happen. Upway.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't revert to a T20, I'll go to Tigers. But if we get some rain,
Tap Monbulk. Sounds like you're right. Belgrave versus Knox Gardens.
Knox Gardens.
Yeah, Knox Gardens for me as well.
Also for me, in Decoit, St John's v Roval.
St John's.
I might go Roval.
Ooh. I'll go St John's as well. Scotty Roval. South Belgrave versus Olinda.
South Belgrave.
Yeah,
Olinda the last 2 weeks have really struggled with the bat, so I think I'm going to go with South Belgrave.
Yeah, South Belly at home for me as well.
I'm going for Olinda. And the last game, Knox Gardens versus Mountain Gate.
Knox Gardens.
Yep, Knox Gardens in a canter, I'd suggest.
Also for me. Once again, thank you very much to the Eastwood Golf Club and also PJD Building. We've you won't believe this, but we've got the little champ in the room. He's in the house and he's come in for the second half of the show. So it's always good to see the little champ, Peter Dalton.
Live crowd, beautiful.
Live crowd, and for what he's doing for our cricket show, we can't thank him enough. So to PJD Building and Peter Dalton, you're a star. Well, Parley's Restaurant and Race with Mates. Thank you very much, boys, Scotty and Scotty. See you next
you,
week.
mate.
Good luck Saturday. Hope you get a few. Hope you stay sober for at least one Saturday. That'd be great. And get home before sunrise. Will you on a Sunday?
We'll see how it pans out. Unlikely though.
Thank you very much, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week.
Good luck on the weekend, guys.
Good luck.